Last Friday night, I went to a friend's party. It was a surprise 27th birthday party. I know, why 27, right? But nonetheless, I went there with this guy that I've been seeing for about 4 weeks. We're in a new relationship and things are going okay. But you guys know that I'm always keeping my eyes on these guys because I have been in bad relationships in the past and I don't trust people. So, anyway, we went to this birthday party together. It is actually a mutual friend of ours. That's how we met, is through this guy. So, we both decided to go as, a date. So, we got there, we're having a good time, we're meeting people, we're mingling with people. I'm meeting new people, I'm meeting some more of his friends and seeing how they behave around him as well as how he behaves around them, trying to detect if there's any kind of split in his personality where he's a different person around certain people and different with me. Just observing because, this channel is called Relationship Horror Stories for a reason. So, he seemed pretty consistent. Of course, he was extra sweet with me than with his friends, which he should be. But the story's not really about me or my date. It's about his friend. So I got there and I'm, mingling with some of the female friends of his and mingling with his girlfriend. His friend's name is Eric and his girlfriend's name is Mindy. So I was just mingling with them. We're all talking together. Eric goes over and he's talking with the boys, and Mindy comes over and she's talking with me and another female at the party. And we're all getting to know each other. Now, Mindy is a very cute girl, seems very outgoing, bubbly, fun. At this point, she had a few cocktails in her. She was getting really loose and open and just telling me a lot about the relationship, about how she's not allowed out the house, how he's very controlling. He pays all the bills in the house. She's not allowed to have a job. They do have two children. And since she had the two children, he decided that she should quit her job as a nurse. So this is huge. Now, Eric is a lawyer. He's a fancy lawyer. He makes good money, corporate law, I believe. He makes enough money to take care of the family, take care of Mindy, and she doesn't have to work. It's all good. But from the outside, it looks like they have the perfect relationship. They have this huge house in a very prominent and wealthy neighborhood. Eric also comes from money. He comes from a lot of money and he is in for a huge inheritance someday. So Mindy seems like she's all set. She's couldn't believe how lucky she was to meet such a wonderful guy who wants her to stay home, doesn't want her to work, wants her to stay and be with the children, which is what she really loves. She loves being a mother. Now, long story short, Mindy was telling me the story of how they met. She said that they actually met out in a restaurant. She was there with a couple girlfriends at the bar having a couple drinks, and she looked over and she saw Eric and she kind of looked at him and didn't pay him much mind, but he was really into her from what she saw. Now she's telling us this story and she's having a good time. At this point, Eric walks over and he overhears the story, so he stops to listen. Now, Mindy said something that must have triggered him because he got really upset. Now, when Mindy said, oh, I was sitting there with my girlfriends and kind of wanted to just be with girls because I had just gotten out of a bad relationship and I didn't want to date. So Eric was trying to talk to me and I ignored him. And he sent over a drink and I took the drink, but I wasn't interested in him. Eric snapped. He called Mindy a complete lying bee. You know what I mean, bee. He called her a liar, saying that she was throwing herself at him, that she was the one who was really into him and he wasn't into her. He thought she was cute. He said that she spun the story the entire opposite way of how it actually occurred, and he was offended. He said, "You're a lying bitch. Oh, I can't believe you're telling this effing story," and he storms off. Now, I was standing there, a mutual friend, Cindy, was standing there, and then there's Mindy. And Mindy turned red, bright red. She was so embarrassed of the way Eric spoke with her. But you could tell that this was normal between the two of them. You could tell that, as before, she mentioned that he was controlling, but you could tell that this was a normal part of their relationship, even though I've never seen it. But you could tell that this wasn't the first time he was being extremely abusive to her verbally. So I just wanted to just talk to you guys about this. Is this behavior acceptable? What would you do if you were Mindy? If you were at a party, you were with your significant other, and he embarrassed you in such way? Do you think that this is a normal part of their relationship? Like I mentioned, it just seemed kind of normal. Oh, I forgot to add a very important thing. After Eric embarrassed her, yells at her, calls her a stupid bee, tell her that she's lying, that she was the one after him, he wasn't after her, she was okay. She apologizes to him. She said, "Oh my gosh, Eric, I'm so sorry, honey. I mixed up the story. I'm so sorry. Forgive me." She was very apologetic to him. And he just, "Fuck you," and storms off. And he wanted nothing to do with her. And he didn't talk to her for the rest of the night. She was embarrassed, trying to get his attention, trying to apologize for telling the story as she saw it, right? I mean, her story isn't wrong. This is what she believed. She thought he was chasing her. Maybe he thought she was chasing him. But who's to say that he's right and she's wrong and she's a effing biatch and she's not? So, and he's not. So, I just felt really bad for her. And I just looked at the whole thing of how perfect her life seems. She's beautiful. She's young. She's 23, he's 27, so he's a little older than her. She's young. She has these two children for him. She's married. She lives in this huge house. She has money, but he doesn't allow her to leave the house. He's very controlling. She's not allowed female friends. Matter of fact, she was begging me to come over and hang out with her in the house because he doesn't allow her to go out or have any kind of social life whatsoever. Her entire life happens to be the children just staying home. And they have a maid, so she's not really cleaning the house or doing any cooking. She's just there with the kids. She has a maid and a babysitter, so she's just like she's pretty much a victim. She's pretty much a victim in this huge mansion with this beautiful man who's ugly on the inside, who mistreats her. Now, my question to you guys once again is, what do you think about this? What would you do if your mate embarrassed you in front of strangers or friends? What would you do if you were Mindy? If you had this perfect life where you never had to worry about making money, about ever being stressed out about finances. And I forgot the backstory of Mindy is she comes from a very poor family. So she's used to being very poor. So when she met Eric, she thought that she had won the, hit the lottery, that she won, especially he's beautiful too. So she thought, oh my gosh, she couldn't believe her luck. So what would you do, ladies? If you had a man, he's taking care of all the bills, he's exactly what you dreamt of having, he's your Prince Charming, but he mistreats you behind closed doors or in public, such as what he did, what would you do? What would your advice be to Mindy? Please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Check out some other videos on here. I have a lot of advice videos. And also, I will be doing a follow-up to this video to give my advice to Mindy. But I would like to hear from you. What would you do? Check in on this channel again tomorrow and you will see part 2 of the Mindy story. Thank you.